Welcome back, everyone. We are so honored to be joined by our next guest here. He is a Hollywood legend, acting legend as well, and yes, Michiana native.
Ernie Hudson is in the studio with us. Ernie, welcome to 16 News Now and welcome home.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here with you guys, and it's always good to come home.
And he's got that smooth, melodic voice. Doesn't he? He's so good at this. We're going to talk about why you're here in just a second. You're from Benton Harbor, though.
I'm from Benton Harbor, yes. I was born and raised in Benton Harbor, and you know, went to school there, graduated 60 years ago, going back to do the commencement speech to the graduates of 2024. Really excited about that, but
What do you remember about your time in the hallways of BHHS?
I just remember I took it for granted until the last day of high school, and I realized that this is my life. And maybe I should have studied harder, you know, a little late for the fact, but I was fortunate enough to get into college and graduate and move on to other things. But I really want to warn kids when they're in school, just take advantage of it while you're there, because you can't sort of go back and do it.
I think you've done pretty well.
Yeah,
I know
so.
Tomorrow you're doing a commencement address, is that right? Is that your message to the kids as well?
Well, no, not tomorrow. I give the speech tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'll tell them other than good luck. But I'm sure I'll say something, hopefully something inspiring, something that hopefully someone would have said to me back in, because, you know, when you're at that age, you pretty much think you got to figure it out. Life will tell you otherwise in time, but it's just, it's quite an accomplishment to have stayed and to be graduating, because so many don't. And so that in and of itself is really impressive.
Absolutely.
Let's talk Ghostbusters. That was 41 years ago. In a couple days, it'll be 41 years.
Yeah.
And obviously you were in the second part as well, the second installment of it.
Yeah.
Talk about the series, the movie, how it's helped your career, but also how it's followed you throughout your career as well in the best way.
Well, you know, I'm Winston Zedmore from Ghostbusters, which means that I've been in all the Ghostbusters. There's been 5 now.
Wow.
And so I've been Winston Zedmore more than half of my life.
Wow.
And no matter where I go in the world, there'll be someone who will be in a jumpsuit with his proton pack and turn his car into an ectomobile. But I love the fact that the movie crosses generations.
Yeah.
I see older people with their great-grandkids and their grandkids, and they're all watching the movie and loving it. And it's been one of those movies that sort of brings people together from all communities. And the character Winston Zedmore that I played has sort of reached out, and kids from all different cultures really responded to it, and it's an international phenomenon. I was in Africa, Ghostbusters show up. You know, there are Ghostbuster chapters in every major city, pretty much around the world.
It's iconic and it makes people happy. What's it like to work with the guys again, to see them?
Well, it's Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, they're geniuses, and it was a real blessing for me to work with them. I appreciate what they did, but they don't do what I do.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I hope they appreciated the work. I'm sure they did. But it's always a blessing to work with good people. I've done a lot of different movies over the years. But when you work with people who are at the top of their game, it's always a great learning experience and rewarding. And I just feel very, very blessed to have an opportunity to bring what I bring to the table as well.
You have done a lot. You're doing a lot this weekend. Let's first start to what you did today. You took a trip up back home to Benton Harbor. Talk about what today was all about.
Well, today I went to, I'm going blank on the name of the
River of Life, I believe.
River of Life Academy, which I think is a charter school, but the kids were so inspiring. I went there to inspire them, and they inspired me. Just so bright. Look at
those smiles,
it just reminds me of how much promise we have in this country. They're just incredible. Wow. But I also visited the Mildred C. Wells Academy yesterday. I visited one of the senior citizens' home, and I realized these old people were probably my classmates. But it was fun to be a part of. Went to the Barron County jail there in St. Joseph, and had the opportunity to speak to some of the men's and the women's. To be able to come home and see the changes, it's just a real blessing to me.
Does it hit you when you see those changes? You come back home,
It does. It does. Because a lot of the people I talk to, even if someone's in their 40s, these are probably the children of the kids I grew up with, or grandchildren sometimes. So the kids I spoke to today, they were probably the great-grandchildren of the kids I went to high school and junior high with. So it's very inspiring knowing that the future is promising, but challenging when I see some of the things that they don't have that we grew up with.
Yeah, I think another thing that's inspiring about you, health, fitness, that's something very, very important to you. You just spoke with Men's Health not too long ago, right? I mean, 78 years old?
You look good.
Come on.
You look great.
Well, good. I appreciate that. If somebody says 78 and they don't say anything, it's real depressing.
Oh, come on. I mean.
But no, the Men's Health came out to my house and they looked at my refrigerator, and luckily there was not a lot of sweets.
You got the
there.
candy and stuff out of there.
But and then they went to the gym and they followed me through a workout. I think it's very, very important that we realize that these bodies we have are the only bodies we're going to get, and we have to treat them well, and we have to every day strive to be a little bit better than the day before. And it's easier to maintain than to let things get out of control and then try to get it back.
Yeah.
So, you know, I learned as a kid to fast in church. So whenever it gets out of control, I'm like, okay, time to stop eating. Won't be eating anytime soon. So
here's a two-part question for you, Ernie. I've got to ask you. You've got a renaming happening this weekend. We've got video up, by the way. I want to show that. But also, when you go back to Benton Harbor and you see those kids who look just like you growing up in the same city and seeing some of the challenges they face, what is your message to them? How did they get inspired to say, you know what, I can be like an Ernie myself?
Yeah.
Well, my message is just know that the only important thing that is said to you are the things you say to yourself.
Wow.
People will tell you when a kid coming from the projects like I did, didn't have a dad or mom, you know, people didn't expect much. And so when people told me all the things of what I couldn't do, but the most important thing is what I told myself, because that's what you really believe. And you have to love yourself. I've always loved being me. I've never wanted to be anybody else. My grandmother raised me and said, you know, God is your father, and you can ask for anything, and it's personal. And I've always believed that. So I've never felt like there was something I couldn't do.
Good for you.
And I really want them to understand that the universe is who you look to and not to people. People they're doing the best they can. But the universe will deliver. It's about asking and expect to receive, believing, and it will happen if you do the work.
Ooh, I got the chills right there.
Keep your hands up. It is cold in here, too.
Amazing.
Don't worry about it.
No, I think that's amazing.
That is. It's outstanding. What are you looking forward to? What's next
Any
for
big
you?
projects?
I know. What you working on right
Well,
now?
the most exciting thing for me now is the street that I grew up on. I grew up in the projects, and as you come out of the project, the street there, Bus Avenue, they've been kind enough, the city's been gracious enough to rename it the Ernie Hudson Way.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
having my name on that street that I walked down so many times, it means a lot. So I'm really, that's Saturday, I believe at 2 p.m. So I'm looking forward to that. But I do a television show called The Family Business on Netflix and BET, and that we're going to our 5th season. Wow. You know, the new Ghostbuster Frozen Empire just came out.
Yeah.
There's an animated feature that I'll start shooting in a couple of weeks called Oswald Down the Rabbit Hole.
Wow, you're busy.
And yeah,
Doesn't stop.
I'm working, and they're still paying me.
You still get that check.
Yeah, I'm good. You know, I'm good.
Did you always know you wanted to be an actor?
No, I knew that I wanted to be something.
Wow.
And when I graduated from high school, I realized that in Benton Harbor, the opportunities did not seem. So my prayer was to let me find something that I can do. Let me find something that I love. The hardest thing in life is finding the things that you love. You'll find all the things going wrong, but if you focus on those things, you'll get more of it. But I wanted to find something that I loved. And when I went to see, by accident, a professional play, and I was blown away. And I thought, I want to do that.
Wow. You talk about Sidney Poitier, people like that who you met. How they inspired you?
Well, they inspired me because I felt like if they can do it, you know, being the way they are, looking the way they look, if they can do it, then it's possible for me to do it. But once again, I said my faith and trust is in the universe, because no one has said, hey, Ernie, and embrace me and open the door. But God, the universe, has always opened the door in ways that I could not have imagined. And so that's what I've always trusted, that someone, and usually the opportunities did not come from people who I expected,
Sure.
but it would come from someone. I just got a call yesterday with a major film out of the blue, you know, that never expected that to happen.
Right.
But I trust God. I trust the universe will always, as long as I'm also trying to bless people and doing the best I can, because you can't be out trying to harm people and expect good things to happen to
Work
you.
hard.
So
Yeah, you've blessed us. You blessed so many of those kids, and you're going to continue to bless folks this weekend too in Benton Harbor. You're
Thank
home,
you.
and thank you for all you do.
And thank
I
you for
really
stopping by
appreciate
today.
you guys. You're just amazing. You look amazing and inspiring.
You should have saw us at 3:30.
We ate a couple of those shortcakes. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's looking good. Don't eat too many of them.
Yeah. All right, Ernie. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
doing
for
this.
being here.
Thank you
I
for being
appreciate
here.
it.
We'll be right back. Stay there.